Well, we managed to get one of these last year, probably about 2/3 of the way through the year. I think I had to get it from somebody in Germany to get one new in a box, and that's the Maxon CM70. We did the Maxon CM10, I think it was last week, which is more like a business radio than a CB radio, and worked very well indeed, as you would expect from Maxon themselves, without actually putting some other brand name on. So I've not been in this, and it's something I'm been looking forward to doing. It's probably been out of the box by somebody else. I'm hoping we've got absolutely nothing. We've got no instructions. We've got nothing that I have found previously. So, I'll tell you what, we'll open the setup first. Well, this new set doesn't have its instruction book, so that's the first not quite right bit. Nice scratch there. Yes. Look at this. This is new. Yeah, right. More like a new return. I won't sniff the mic, I don't know where it's been. Right, so we'll plug that into our handy fag lighter socket, which is somewhere on here. Well, this is going to be fun, isn't it, setting it up for the UK. I've not got the foggiest what it's doing. Well, I expect you switch it on with something. Shall we go for AM and FM while switching it on? Oh, it's not got a squelch, that's great. Try switching it on with the emergency button pressed. Try switching it on with AM, FM and mode pressed. Let's try switching it on with emergency and AM, FM pressed. Yeah, I'm going to have to see. Anyway, I've gone off it immediately because I haven't got a real squelch control. Oh, that wasn't too difficult. I went online and I found a copy of the user manual I managed to extract enough pages for the English instead of all 69 pages of every language you can think of. And like lots of Maxon manuals, you've got circuit diagrams, block diagram and component layout handily in the back. So back to our original pesky problem. Press and hold the emergency key while switching on the radio. We really did that, didn't we? And then what? Release while the icons are still lit. So that's where we've gone wrong. Well, that didn't work, did it? Right. And then what? Press the emergency key to confirm. Well, that was a right faff. In actual fact, you hold the power button, and a split second after, you then press the emergency key. You don't hold the two together. It's all lies. And mode should take us to EU. Oh, it doesn't. Perhaps AM/FM takes us to CE. It does. And of course, this was made before 2014 when the UK rules changed, so accessing AM would have to be done by putting in a country code that you're not really in. Spain would offer 4 watts of AM. Right. So let's see what power we're developing. So I think it's a faffy keyboard because it's this touch control thing. So faff to set the country. And I've just pressed something. Right, there we go. Plug the extension speaker in. It's got an extension S-meter socket. What we're done. Is that volume? Is it Squelch? Not very intuitive, this radio. I don't know how to access Squelch, so we'll come back to that. Anyway, we'll look at transmit. Oh, 2.4 watts. Sounds about normal, doesn't it? It's near enough on frequency to just... if I could just work the Squelch, I'm going to have to look at the instructions to see how to do that. It'd be fun in an emergency, wouldn't it? You press the mode key repeatedly until the Squelch icon appears. When? Then? No. Perhaps you have to get rid of auto Squelch first. Oh, it's got a DAF frequency mode. Right, switch off auto squelch. Now it's given us squelch. Good grief, what a faff. So when it's in squelch mode, you can't adjust the volume. And then if you miss your cue, you've got to go back through them all. Anyway, we'll just see what the cyanide is just straight off the out of the box. 0.25 for 12 decibel cyanide. So I mean that's excellent. Let's just look at the. I'm going to drop this volume. There we are. Got rid of it. Let's look at the deviation. Wallow. About 1.8. Better than 0.9. Anyway, we'll open it up. Oh, I'm just touching things all the time. I thought I was really going to like this. And I don't. Yeah, you know, my scenario is this, you know, you're in your mate's car, there's something happens, you need to use the CB radio, they're out of the vehicle, or they're unconscious or something like that. And don't say get your mobile phone out, mobile phones don't work everywhere, including where I live. And so you think, oh, I'll just call on this CB radio, and you can't find out how to work it, because it is too complex. So we would have to undo the speaker. May not have to. So, without looking at the circuit, we can see the transmits that way. We can see the receives this way. Let's see if the board says anything on it. So it's 2009, and the board number is CM70. So it's fiberglass board, as you expect these days. I'm sure we've seen this chassis recently before. I don't know whether it was the CM10 that had it or one of the others, but it's very, very similar to something I've seen recently. Just before we start looking and writing things down, just see if we can just look if we can get the power up on the 450 possibly. RV850 is power. I'll be glad when I've got some highlighter pens again. Makes this job so much easier. Yeah, 850's that one there. So we're on channel 20. Seeing as I've plonked it again, let's just see whether we can move up from 2.4 watts. That's 3. So let's see if we can go through the transmitter a bit. Yes, so we're looking at about 3.4 watts, which is about par for the course these days on modern sets. So let's have a look at the frequency that we are on. 2779125 is what I'm looking for. It's slightly low. It's a few years old, even if it's new. New, my thought. I bet somebody returned this and bought a set that could actually work. So let's look at where deviation is. So we knew that one was power. Oh, you've got a TX meter on this, which is nice. RV900. That's the one to the right. Yeah, I mean, it's wrapping right the way round. So we'll have it one segment away. I'll tell you what, it's got quite a lot of segments there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we are, 10 segments. Now then, how many sets where they double up, don't they? This doesn't. Oh, I've gone and changed channel again now. So that's done that. That was the one to the right. So just look at deviation. Is RV200. Is that one down there? Let's try it there. Wow, oh my goodness, it's way over the top. How can it be so different between this and the voice? Wallow. Wah to wallow. Still over the top. Wallow. That's it. Absolute peak there of 2.5. Now when this came, if you remember, it was 1.9, so that's brought that up nicely. Just listen on the monitor receiver. Tango 21, testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Has a compressor and expander, so It should be pretty good audio on this. They've gone to some trouble. We'll probably go into AM and just check what the modulation is. I'll do the receive first because it's going to be a faff trying to get it back into another country. So we'll look at receive. We'll put some volume back on it. So the first thing we'll do is we'll look at the oscilloscope and see whether we can get a bit more out of the detector, which looks to be there. Yes, we've got more out of that. While we've got S9 on the test set, we may as well check the S meter. So it's RV901, which I would think is that one to the left. Yeah. There we go, S9 it is. So that's set up nicely. And with 10 levels of bar, it's a bit more resolution than most sets. I'd like to have it quieter than this. This is too loud for me, but this is the lowest the volume goes without being off. So now we'll move over to the cyanide meter. Get that for 4 decibels. Go through the receive. I should have looked at the circuit, but I'm expecting it to be down here. That's not making any difference. I can't see any difference with that one either. So why is that? Let's put more signal on. Yeah, well, pause the video and look at the circuit diagram to make sure I'm doing the right thing. So I went to make some notes, and we've just come up with 1 or 2 answers, hopefully. So on receive, 406, 7 and 8, 406, 7, 8. So it definitely is receive, which is what I've done them as. 320, or I can't read it, it's a bad... by the time you've blown this up enough for this to see the circuit, it's a bit fuzzy. So 320, I've got, it's 520. It looks like you see AM detector. I think we've come across that before. And of course I was... we've already done that one. 300 and 301 are the only ones for the transmit, so that's we're actually exactly where we should be. So the only thing to do, we've set S9. I think we've set everything, haven't we, apart from doing the AM mod. So I'll just see if we can reprogram it for AM. So switching it on and pressing the emergency button a fraction of a second later, and then moving up to Spain. Now I've forgotten what we do. That's it. So we'll just check this on, well, channel 20 will do. There we go. So we'll go back to the first meter on the test set. So see what power we've got. It's supposed to be 4 watts. It's 3.6. And let's look at what modulation we've got. So we'll go to AM mod. I'll just have to tune the machine because we're now on a different frequency, because we're going to be on 27205, which we are. Voila, there we go. So if we look at that, we expected to get something like 90% modulation. Voila, it's straight over. So it's spot on. If we needed to have adjusted the AM mod, let's just show you which preset it is. Oh, got Squelch to do still. RV100 is AM mod. Is it that? No, that's going to be Squelch then. Yeah, 400 and 401 are going to be Squelch. Is that it? It is, yeah. So it's that one. RV100 is that one just down there. We'll just zoom in on that a little bit. RV100 there. So we're not going to touch that. What we are going to do is we'll set the signal generator up for 27205. We'll just set that detector coil just so it is spot on. It's my set. I'm not expecting to ever use it in AM or on CPT for that matter, but we'll just go through the motions. Let's have a look at the oscilloscope. Ah, that's why we want it. I'll put a bigger signal on. So sensitivity on AM is 0.23 microvolts. No, it's not. Sensitivity on AM is 0.74 microvolts. I'll write that down. .74 microvolts for 12 dB synad. Then we'll do our usual on when we go back to UK channels, 20 dB, 12 dB and 10 dB. We'll do that. So that's done with AM. So we'll just whip it back onto UK channels. Switch it off. Switch it back on. Put the signal generator back to 2779125. Okay, so now we'll look at the Synad for UK FM. So for 20 dB, I can't actually get 20. It's one of these limited by noisy transistors. So to be fair, I will say, I mean that's as near as damn it 20, we'll say 3 microvolts. Now 12 on the other hand, this is the important one. .23 microvolts, and for 10 0.17 microvolts. A very sensitive radio. So now we'll look at Squelch. This is the faff, isn't it? Now how do we work this? Mode. Squelch. Right, I want it to be S9 for full. So that's top of the shop. So I would like, that's 10 microvolts. I would like it to be stronger than that. I'd like it to do 100 microvolts. Let's see what we can do to improve that. So I've got a choice of 400 or 401. Let's see whether we can find out which one is which. .400 is auto squelch. So it says RV2 is squelch control. Yeah. So we must assume that 401 is manual squelch. Just so I get these the right way around, we'll just look back at the layout. 401 is to the left. It is. We'll just turn that clockwise slightly, and then we'll see where we are with the signal generator. Which I'll just put it onto the attenuators onto the screen. Hopefully. That's it. So that's 10 decibel, 10 microvolts, 30 microvolts, 100. It's now exactly where I want it to be. So that was a good little twiddle. So now looking at the other end, we'll switch the signal generator off, we'll park it at 0.3 of a microvolts. Now we'll faff with this. Oh, here we go. Why's the power gone off? Is it the fag lighter? Slightest power interruption and it's gone. So Squelch. Why isn't it letting me adjust the Squelch? Oh, it's reset to 0. What's that about? So minimum Squelch is 1. So I'll put the signal generator on, and it's actually come straight in, and it's giving us a very, very sensitive Squelch. It's coming in at 0.15 of a microvolt and cutting out at 0.07 of a microvolt. So that is very good on 1. Now we need to set auto squelch. That needs to be stronger than that, probably somewhere around about 3 microvolts. So again, we'll park the signal generator at 0.3 and switch it off. So mode, auto squelch. We want that on. And let's see where that is. Switch the signal generator back on. That needs to be stronger than that. It's 0.7 of a microvolt. That's better. 1 microvolt. Right, we will put it back together. Okay, we'll put it back to record, and we'll just have a look at the Spectra Analyzer and just see that it's something like. So this is a new set, it's not been fiddled with. I'm not expecting any problem at all. So we'll put it on auto. And not find it. Oh, going manual. 27.79125 megs. Let's have a look. It'd been better if I'd not put the lid on, but yeah, that's fine, there's nothing. Right, so let's see what some of these daft features are. Is BL Roger Bleep. Electronic speech processor. Is there a button for that? Oh yeah, there is. Fantastic. We'll play with that on the air test. Beep tone. So yeah, that's what that is. It's whether it goes bleep when you press the buttons. That's that was it. It does have program memories for whatever use that is. So those other features in the mode button. So to go through that, we've got auto squelch, which is off at the moment. Normal squelch, which we set to. I've gone and done the wrong bar. Now we're out of it. Now we're back into it. So why isn't the radio hissing? Switch on the radio. I'm not going through the pad, I'm just picking it up on a loose connection. Now that's fine. Okay, so we'll go over to the aerial now. It's cooled down. I'll just tell you what the transmit is. So on the power, it's 3.4. So it's actually doing 3.6 on AM, for what that's worth. So we'll go into the aerial. It's a nice sensitive receiver. and it's a set which is spoiled by no proper squelch control. So let's see what we can do. Volume. Mode. Squelch. Yay! Then you've got to go through the other menus to go back to UK, scan. Oh, actually somebody on 19. I'll tell you what. One 919, Roger. They're all about 35 miles away, as I keep saying. Somebody said to me, why don't you put your aerial higher? The whole idea about living out here is I'm 35 miles from the nearest city, and it's great because I don't have interference. So it's chatting away to itself. We'll leave it on there, and we'll do an on-the-air test later on with Mr. Chippy. So in conclusion, it'd be interesting to see how ESP works, but I can't even turn the volume down quickly. You know, why is that? Is that bottom volume? What a faff. Thank you for watching the Maxon CM70.